Look at the baby. Look at it's a little Bambi. All right, you guys, in my last video, I showed you, or I told you, about how I thought the coyote was a fox because in the same frame, there's deer that look so much huger. And so I'm showing you the examples of the pictures that I saw, some of them that I found. I had deleted some already. But here are deer in the same shot, and then here's a fox, right? Like, look how tiny it is. This is the same frame, the same, you see this, right? I mean, the camera hasn't moved, so if that is so much smaller than the deer, and I realize deer are huge, but this is a fox, okay? This is what I thought. I should have put some kind of picture of what coyotes look like in Arizona, because yeah, this is a coyote. This is what I was telling you guys about, but I wanted to show the pictures I was referring to in my last video. So here are the deer again, next to the fox coyote. And here he is in my backyard at 3 in the morning, at 8:30 at night, and we're out here at 8:30 at night. And so he's not that small, not at all. He could get right over my fence, as you see. And here he is walking away from my enclosed porch where I sit at 8:48 at night. I was definitely sitting out here then. He is not small, as you can see. I just wanted to put these up for you guys because, yeah, whoa. Here's a little picture of Jack and an encounter we had. Okay, you guys, this was wild. Ness and I were driving back from the bay one night. The sun had just went down, and we were driving past the beaver pond. This is a beaver dam that this beaver has all plugged up, this culvert. And we're like, what? That looks like a big bird. Like, what is that? Stop the car, right? And it's a great gray egret. Absolutely beautiful. How cool that we can just see this driving alongside the road. So that's what we did. We have a really bright flashlight, and we were like, okay, you know, trying to aim the flashlight like near her feet or back area so as to not blind her. And cool, we were just going to keep moving. But then we realized, well, wait, what's she doing? Because there were frogs, and like, we know she's hunting, right? And also we know that it was a she because we could see her brood patch. If you don't know what that is, Google it. I'm just kidding. And then she started moving, and we were like, well, wait, let's watch. Is she going to hunt? Because from right in the direction she was going was a really loud frog. I'm like, she's going to get that frog. She's going to get that frog. So we're watching her, right? And she's creeping up. And we're just watching her. And we're standing way up on a hill, okay? Like, the road that we're on is... she is very much downhill from us. There's no way we could reach her or be anywhere near her. And I am zoomed in, of course, to film her. And again, Nessa's trying to keep the majority of the light off of her face. So that's why the light kind of moves around a little bit. But we weren't trying to, like, blind her. Like I said, our flashlight's really bright. But we realized she wasn't going deeper into the marsh. She was coming up the hill. And we're like, wait, why is she coming up the hill? And then she, like, floundered down into this culvert. We're like, is she hurt? Like, what's going on? Nope, she wasn't hurt at all. And I thought, oh my gosh, okay, she must be going to her nest. She doesn't want us around, so she's moving, like, closer to, she's got a nest or her babies in this drain pipe, because this is the whole, she's standing in the beaver dam. This whole area that's behind her is a big, huge pack of mud that the beavers have packed there to dam off this culvert, which you'll see the culvert in a second. But I thought that's where she was going to, because there's nothing in here to hunt. Like, what? She's not eating in here. Like, what's she doing? So we're watching her, like, seriously, what's she doing, right? Super cool. And she's just walking real slow. Here comes the drain pipe? I don't know what I call it, that culvert. No, she's not interested in that. She is coming up the hill. Like, wait a minute, she's coming toward us. Is that bird, like, coming to check us out? And we're like, well, let's back up, because I'm telling you, she just hiked a hill here, okay? I have coffee, excuse me, guys. I always have coffee. She came up, all the way up to the road to check us out. We were 4 or 5 feet from her. We started backing up like, whoa, you know, like what? what is going on here? And I'm like, is she coming to the light? Did she really, maybe she just came to the light. Maybe she hunts bugs, or I don't know. So, you know, when I got home, I started Googling all kinds of things. And I knew this was a gray egret because I had seen many alongside the road in other occasions. But, you know, as we're speeding by, driving past, never been able to stop and like get a good look at one. And she was just chilling. She was looking out over the marsh there, or the beaver dam, whatever you want to call it. But look how close she is to the road. She came all the way up, and like for reference, if you remember the beginning of this video, how far away and down there she was. And yeah, she just starts coming right toward us, walking alongside the road with us. At one point, Ness got within, I don't know, 3 feet of her. And that's when she started kind of peeling off and walking the other way. So I told Ness, back up and see if she comes back. And she did. And check this out. And she waggles her tail feathers multiple times. She was making little noises. Just, you guys, how freaking cool is this? Maybe it's not cool to some of you who maybe live in Florida or places where, look at her waggling her tail feathers, where these birds are common or something. But I mean, I'm from Arizona. This is wild to me. This is just absolutely incredibly wild. And she just wasn't afraid of us. I mean, she literally came up here to check us out. And I'm going to show you in a second, like, how close she is to the truck, how close she is to Ness. How beautiful. Look at that. Tell me, you guys, have you ever had an encounter like this? And she's coming closer. She's coming onto the road. And I was like, oh, babe, I don't want to lure her, like, for whatever reason that we are drawing her to us. I don't want her on the road. Like, I don't want to leave until I feel like she's safely back down there. I mean, I know she can fly, but look at this. And she's, at this point, she started kind of walking away from Ness, so Ness stopped. And then she backed up. And Ness was talking sweet to her the whole time. And then she just backed up because... But really, like, she didn't startle. She wasn't making any alarm sounds. There wasn't anything wrong with her as far as her legs, her wings. Because we did see her fly a little bit a couple times. Nothing wrong with her. She was just flat out curious, you guys. How incredible, right? How cool. It's just the neatest thing to live here, I swear. And she went back on down. She wasn't interested in us anymore, checked us out, and she's going to go back down to her life in the marsh. And you know, these birds are prehistoric and smart, and I did look it up, and it kind of does mean something when you are visited or trusted by one of these birds, like in the native community. And if you look into or believe any of that kind of stuff, it's a good omen to have a little visit by one of these ladies. So I thought it was so cool, thought I would share with you guys. And yeah, she went back on down. We watched her for just a little while, and then we left her alone. So yeah, welcome to my channel, you guys. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. All right, so swift change of subject, but on to the nails. We are using these tips here today. I think, I don't know, 4 or 5 kinds of these because I keep purchasing them. These are really good tips, you guys. They're on Amazon. Some of them have a thick edge, so you could use them with gel. But what I like about them is that they can be used with gel. Look at that edge. They can be used with gel as full cover tips, or they can be used with acrylic as half cover tips because they're so thin on the other side. But these are the most well-made, well-shaped, well-sized. Look at the blend here. I mean, yeah. And I'm obsessed with this color. I asked you guys in my last video what set you wanted to see. And I got 3 votes for red and 1 vote for gray. So the gray will be up next. And here is the red set. I'm gonna let you guys watch the application. I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna let you guys watch for a minute and I'll be back. I'm sure you guys noticed the application of, well, not the application, the ease of application with this acrylic. This really, really, really reminds me of their other jellies. I don't really, this isn't like part of their candy coated line or their jelly acrylics. This is definitely one of their more sheer colors. It goes on like you're working with clear, but without sticking to your brush, kind of like black licorice. It's just, ugh, besides the color, it was just a dream to work with. I'm going to show you guys some e-filing. Well, some filing and e-filing. I turn my e-file up to a 24 to do some debulking, and I'm using this medium grit, super long flute bit from NOTPOLISH, and I'm just going to debulk. This bit in particular leaves a lot of scratches in your nails, no matter which way you go, meaning left to right or up and down, as you could see from the thumb, and you'll be able to see here. So, but for me, that's fine because I'm not trying to, I never use my e-file, God, never is just a harsh word, almost never use my e-file to do my finish filing. Sometimes I will, with a sanding band, do some finish filing, like around the cuticle edges or something. It just depends on my mood, really. There's no really reason for it other than that, but mostly I use my e-file for debulking, and I use my hand file for shaping. I'm sure you guys who are always here with me know that. So I don't mind that a bit leaves scratches like this because I am going to completely, almost from scratch, go in with my hand file. But I like to use my e-file for things like this. Any acrylic that's on the edges that I couldn't get to with my e-file, debulking, like especially around the cuticle area, I'm going to do that with an e-file, and straightening out the side walls, thinning out the free edge, all of that I'm going to use my tools for. But hand filing, I'm just obsessed with. Thinning out this part of the nail, which I show you guys all the time, I think is like the most critical part of any nail shape that you're doing, whether it's square, coffin, whatever. That side wall part of your arch there, which I've shown you guys lots of times. If you don't know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments and I can refer you to a video where I definitely show it specifically. But yeah, okay, and also today is Sunday. It's 6:30 in the morning. I'm going to post this video in a couple of hours, which means I got 2 videos out to you guys this week. I got a Thursday and I got a Sunday, which is my goal. I want to get back to posting twice a week. I am only committing myself to the Sunday video. I'm committing myself to every Sunday, and we have things to do today. We had things to do yesterday. We just have a lot to do. And I did tell myself last night, when I hadn't even finished editing this video down from 3.5 hours to 30 minutes, plus the voiceover, when I went to bed last night at 10 o'clock, I had not even started doing this video. And I'm like, ugh. Well, I put up a Thursday video. No. You put up a Sunday video every single week. If you get a Thursday video up, cool. That's your second video. But you don't just not do the Sunday video because you did a Thursday video. No. So I got up, I don't know what time, just because I woke up, not for any special reason, just because I can never sleep for like more than 4 hours in a row. So I got up at like 1:30, and I've been fiddling and editing this since, along with like stopping for cups of coffee and a couple cinnamon rolls. I've been baking a lot, you guys, lately with yeast, like making loaves of bread, which I've never baked a loaf of bread before in my life until this week or last week, and cinnamon rolls and croissants, and what are those called? Oh, Danish, strawberry danishes. And like to make those, you have to start with a puff. You have to learn how to make a puff pastry, which was really cool and not that hard. And wow, was it amazing. So good. So I've been doing a lot of that kind of stuff lately. Oh, I want to show you this right here. So this is how this looks when I first start filing, and I'll show you how it looks at the end, because you may think, not you may think, but like this is the part right here that I was trying to describe to you a moment ago. This part, this right here where I'm going. not on the top, not on the sidewall, but right there, is really what gives you the best part of your shape. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. I stopped that in the video to show you like what part of the nail I was working on, what it looked like at the free edge when I was like at this point, and how much more work I need to do. That's how I can always tell. I'll look at my nail from the free edge, like stare down the barrel, point the free edge at my face, and look at the nail from that angle, and that tells me where I still need to file. So after I do this for quite a while, I will show you again what it looks like, and then I may need to take my e-file and thin out my free edge underneath the nail, and I don't always do that. Usually with curved nails, though, I do, because it seems like the application, well, I love to apply acrylic, so I'm pretty heavy-handed with that. I like to put on big whopping beads, but sometimes I am able to control myself and like do my application really, really trim, and don't need to file from under the free edge. But most times I do, just because I don't know what it is, if I'm just an 80s or 90s girl or what, but I like a thick nail. I don't like it to look thick. I don't like it to look ugly and wide, if that makes sense, but I like them to be beefy. Like the bulk of them. I don't know. But I want a really crisp cuticle area. I want them to look like they're coming out of my natural nail bed, like the sidewalls trim. And I want the free edge to look just snatched and crispy. But the actual nail, especially on a curved nail, you have to put acrylic where you wouldn't normally put it. Like you have to build up right here where I'm filing right here on the like bottom third of your nail. Bottom, I call the bottom right here toward the free edge. Some people call that the top of the nail, but that, to me, I call this the bottom. You have to bulk that area up right there to get your arch of the nail, the curve of the nail from the side to look right, because of how high the arch is in the center, if that makes sense. I'm sure you saw that during application, but then you have to even it all out as well. So I think I'm going to show you here like what this is looking at, what this is looking like now, because I'm done filing like from the top and I have the shape I want, but my free edge is not as thin as I want, and I'll show you here. You see how thick that nail is? I love it. I love it like that. But that doesn't look good. So how I'm going to fix that is I'm going to take my e-file. And I'm just going to really pay attention to the shape of the arch, like make it like the rainbow part of this C-curve, if you know what I'm saying. Because I already did take this e-file to the underside to thin it out, and then I'm going to crisp it and straighten it with my file, and then look at it again, and then you can see like where it looks a little wonky and the shape doesn't look exactly like a nice smooth arch, and then fine tune it again. And I still have my e-file up high so that I barely need to touch it, and then I will show you again when I'm finished how it looks, and each time I'm going to kind of crisp it up flat with my hand file. Gee whiz, Jen. And there is what I'm talking about. So I will make all the nails look like that, and then I'm going to go in with my 180. This is usually the extent of the buffing I do. So I took most of the scratches all of the scratches that the e-file made with my 100 grit, and then I'm going to go with my 180 and smooth that out, because I will be using matte top coat. Now, I had no design plan for these nails at this point. I knew I was going to do, I had a bunch of stuff out. I had some spider gel, some gold, some blue chrome, some metallic pieces. I just had a bunch of stuff out, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do at all. Oh, there's a random unboxing in here. I forgot. I got a box from NOTPOLISH, and so I will show you some of their stuff. Okay, so I needed a new, I needed to replace those two acrylics. These are some of their new products, okay, guys, besides those two acrylics. And I did get some other acrylics that I will swatch from, I did swatch for you in another video. So even though you don't see me swatching them here, you will get some swatches soon. All right, so I got their clear and milky white poly gel. I already have one of their like baby pink polygels that I haven't used or shown you guys yet, but I use polygel on my natural nails, and I also have dual forms, and I want to get into doing that because it just looks so cool, where you can encapsulate like large flakes of like mylar and those marble flake looking things. I know I'm not calling it the right thing, but that's because I'm trying to keep up with the video. My brain's not working there. This is their new cuticle oil, or complete care oil. I really like it because it doesn't leave you greasy. It soaks all the way in. So it's kind of a dry oil, even though it isn't. Their new packaging is spectacular. It is so luxurious, just full stop, okay? And this is just white 3D gel, but immediately I was shocked by the size of it, by the packaging, by how luxurious and rich it feels. It feels like you've gotten a cream from, you know, a face cream from some top-of-the-line company or something. Tao said that this does not stick to your gloves or your fingers, and she is right. I did some 3D flowers with this, and this is spectacular. 5-star on that. And this is their new product called Thumbs Up. These are little magnets that 2 come in a pack. These are magnetized little things that you put them in your e-file and put one on each side, and you angle it for your client or yourself so that it keeps your thumbs facing upward while it's in the lamp. So if you always put your thumb there, you will always cure your thumb. I replaced my Tusa. I ordered 1 Flaming Hot, I thought, but I must have had 2 in my cart, so yeah. And these guys, again, I will swatch these for you in another video. But that was my little unboxing for you guys. Back to the nails. I cleaned these with alcohol, and I'm going to go in with Balm Nails Anti-Chrome Matte Top Coat. And I do want to take a second to toot the horn of this product because I have plenty of matte top coat. Just matte top coat. And if you use it, put on matte top coat, put on some gel, try to do chrome, there's no way it comes out like this. You guys, I have had a love-hate relationship with chrome. I have tried put on matte top coat and use a little buffer and buff it out, and then your chrome will work right. Nope, not for Jen. Cure your this, only 15 seconds instead of 30. That'll work. Nope, no, it doesn't. Try a base coat. I tried everything that I saw working for other people, and yeah, sometimes I'd get kind of an okay result, but this flawless, I mean flawless, where it's not sticking to the rest of your nail, where it only sticks to your line work, where you don't have to rub it in, it's not messy, it's not a problem or an issue. Full stop. Order this. I know there are other brands that carry this, and I don't know which brands do or don't or how they work, but from my experience, this in particular anti-chrome matte top coat is the holy grail. I'm not interested in trying any others. I did also, over all those things I was just mentioning to you, the little tricks I just mentioned to you, I don't know, probably over a year ago, Kairose released something similar. They didn't call it matte or anti or anything like that. It was just chrome top coat. In other words, if you use this with our chrome system, you'll have no problems. No, I have that in my drawer. It doesn't work. It perhaps works for others, but does not work for me. Anyway, this right here, as you can see, I'm able to have a hot pink nail or a cherry red nail and going with this just vivid, vibrant blue chrome and make all but no mess. I mean, it's not even little flaky bits are sticking to the nail. Do you see this? And oh, oops, did I get chrome all over the other part of the mat? Is it going to brush off? Because that's happened to me before too. Don't worry, Jen, just keep scribbling it on like you see other people doing. It'll brush right off. Never brushes off. It's a huge mess. No, not this. Look at it. Look at that. Oh my God, you guys, run. If you don't have this and you're struggling with chrome, just go get it. So, as for the nails and where I get my inspo and how I design my sets, you know, a lot of times I'll just go through my glitter drawer or my products or my charm boxes. I'm like, oh, I want to use these charms. What can I do? Basically, it starts with what product I want to use. And I wanted to use this crimson. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do a full set. I want to use these new tips I got, these curved tips, and I want to use crimson. So I'm going to do some curved nails with this crimson. Well, what am I going to do on top of that? Well, let me go through my charm box and see what charms I have that will match that red. Well, not hardly any, because reds are hard to match. You're going to have to go hot pink. You're going to have to go cherry. You're going to have to go bright red. It's not Valentine's Day. It's not even summer anymore. Like, what do I do with these nails? And then I notice, like, I've been wanting to use my spider gel. So I don't know. This just kind of came together, and I didn't really like it when I was finished. So you'll see at the end how I removed all of this and made the nails absolutely spectacular in my opinion, and didn't take them off. I wore them till they fell off. Just this length too. I did shorten them after like 4 days. Excuse me. This is my pop-off method, but my pop-off method will stay on a good week or so until I want them off, really. I don't really know how long they last because I'm usually done within a week, but yeah, I kept these on for a while because of the color and because of how they looked after this. But as I was going, I'm like, you know, these are starting to look like clothes I wore in the 80s. If you guys know, you know, there were these like paint splatter design. I don't know. So this is where it was going for me, was like 80s. The geometrical designs and the bright colors kind of in splatters. And so that's where I was kind of going. Now, this microphone I got is supposed to cut out background noise, but I've noticed that it doesn't. I can still hear my bug zapper going and stuff. But right now there are 2 hawks right outside calling to each other. The reason I was really silent right then was because I'm hoping that it catches every other noise when it's not supposed to. Although I do prefer this microphone over the first one I got. Sarah sent me a link to one, but I had already bought the other one, and then by the time I wanted the second one, I couldn't find the link and I didn't want to bother her, so. Oh. Wow. I'm sorry if that was just dead air, you guys. I won't be able to tell till I listen back if that was dead air or if you guys could hear the hawks, but that was cool. They're flying right over me. And they're just talking about it this morning. Anyway. Yeah, so these were turned into some 80s nails. I liked them and I did not like them. And then I thought, you know, I think these nails would just look so good if they were just plain. Just the color they are with nothing on them. Absolutely nothing but a shiny top coat so that the color shows through. And yeah, that's what I ended up doing. So I'm going to put on some of these beautiful Bluestreak crystals. And while I do that, I'm going to let you guys know, probably in my next video, I'll probably update you guys with things that are going on around here. Nothing much. We've been working really hard on the house. We are priming. I just did all the priming to all the walls that were ready to be primed after we drywalled and everything. So painting is next. The cabinets are going up Wednesday, I believe. So, well, there you go. You're updated. There's really not much else. It's a lot of work, you guys. A lot of work. But it's coming together. And again, I will do a whole video dedicated to that. Well, maybe not a whole video. I don't think I'll be able to have enough like actual footage because mostly it's pictures. Yeah, it'll probably have to be inserted in a video. But yeah, I will be showing you guys, which reminds me, today I got to get some footage. All right, so here are the nails finished. I liked them and I didn't like them. So at the end here, you will see what I did to them afterwards. And you can let me know in the comments which set you liked better. I did get a comment on TikTok that the second set that were just plain looked like Jolly Ranchers, which I loved because they actually did look like Jolly Ranchers. All right, you guys, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.